So I'm working on the 1925 house again today, just a little bit. I'm bringing some tools over and whatnot. And I think it's a good time to do an introduction to this whole series. So, my friend Bill was a pen pal. He started sending me letters, and so I started sending him back letters, just talking about, well, mostly about like jet engines and rockets, but just generally stuff about the channel. And it was kind of interesting to actually send letters for once, but it was kind of tedious, so we switched to email. After knowing him for about a year, one time he sent me an email where he's just being honest about, well, he seemed like he was in a really depressed mood because he'd been working really hard all his life. He's in his 50s and he has nothing to show for it. No house, no yard, nothing. No room to really do anything. And he was up in the Wisconsin Dells, and evidently they get a lot of tourists there, and the prices of a house are so expensive. And I was like, well, there's a house for sale for $2,900 here. And it was like, $2,900. And I'm like, and I, like sometimes you half jokingly say an idea, just kind of expecting someone to decline it. And I said, yeah, you can come down here and I'd help you restore it. And he was like, well, damn it. I got like $5,000 saved up. I'll come down here and buy this and we'll spend the money fixing it up. That fucking digital church bell thing. I hate it. It's too loud. The problem with that thing is going to play for like 20 minutes and that'll take up all the lights. So we're just going to screw it, whatever. I just brought those here on my bicycle. It was pretty hard. They were in the Red Rooster dumpster. I'm not sure they came in the Red Rooster or not. But anyway, as for the building itself, oh, by the way, I noticed that looks like that might actually be that size of window. Look at that. So I might have already just found in the trash a window that would go there perfectly. But this walling looks like it had brown underneath it. I think white is pretty good. And this will do very well for pressure washing. If the original was brown, we might try something different, but I'm not really sure. I want to make something more authentic to the 1930s style. I'm not so sure about the overhang over here. That's a little odd, but it does add some character. So I don't know. Those overhang, like wedges that are holding it up, those seem to have sagged, and so the entire overhang has sagged. So those might need to be jacked up or even replaced because they've kind of gone. That was obviously added on as an afterthought because there was no bracing underneath it, and I think that might be too. Or whoever designed this house didn't know what they were doing. I think that the siding is good because it does feel good. Yeah, the siding is good. And so you can most likely expect that whatever is underneath it is good as well. It's a bit of pressure washing and that'll clean up really nice. Now this entire stuff right here is all going to go. That has to go, this has to go, because, well, this is caving in. You can't trust walking on that. But whenever they design this, oh, it's also a problem. All the water from the yard just rushes right into there. That's horrible. But they didn't really strengthen it enough. So this entire wall is being pushed over, and you can see that it's buckling that. And so this is actually caving in. So this is going to need to be removed. But we noticed something, that back there's actually enough for like a garage door going into the basement. So we could remove this and add a ramp so we can just drive this car into the basement. It's pretty nice. Oh, by the way, this little 1895 brick house back there was for sale recently, and I almost bought it, but it was $8,000. It was really nice, but it didn't stay up very long. So this will go, but for now we can leave it. Oh my God. Yeah, that's bad. But one nice thing is they just have more modern electricals, and so I'm definitely going to look through all the electricals and make sure everything's fine. But like, look at this. This is just horrible. And whenever you walk in that little room area, you can tell it's just horribly made. It technically has air conditioning, but I don't think it actually runs. But to be honest, we need to upgrade the insulation in this place anyway. And so one window unit should do each floor perfectly fine. This ramp is ugly. We're going to keep it for now just because it makes it so much easier to bring stuff into the house, and especially when we're going to be like bringing wheelbarrows of stuff. And it's really great for bringing the bike up here. I already brought a bunch of lumber over. It'd be really good stuff for, well, honestly, these laths will be needed for the restoration of the walls, but also they can be used to hook down any of the plastic to the roof, because we need to get that dried. Now this has some significant rot, but I think it's salvageable. And I may have noted this before, but I have this exact lumber that's up here on the roofing. So if we just need to replace all of that, I actually have enough of original of that lumber. I could just totally replace all of this if I wanted, but we won't need to. We can replace only some of the ones that have gotten wet. I am running out of breath. I do like these little indentations. They do add character. And I do like this very vintage wallpaper. But because it's had a lot of damage up here, we're probably going to need a lot of laths. So I went ahead and got a bunch of laths out of the dumpster, especially because like right here there's some damage, and yeah. Also a lot of window damage. So I'll have to work on fixing windows. Now as for the flooring, this flooring will be needed to redone. Will be needed to be redone. It's all buckled up because of all the water that's fallen down. It really is quite a mess. That's an odd. I have high hopes for being able to remove the paint from all this wood trim and put it back to its former glory. I'm not sure if that's original or not. I don't think it is. But again, we can remove the paint and give it a nice finish. Oh, that'll look nice. Look at that. This tiling will come up. One thing I'm thinking is that we'll work on getting 3 rooms opened up very soon for them. So we need to get the kitchen going. Oh, and we'll show you the basement in a little bit. We need to get the kitchen going, which also means, like getting all these places where there's no panes in the windows all figured out. Need to get the bathroom going, which this is a toilet that's going to go, but I think I might have another toilet coming. And then he also picked up this one up in Wisconsin on his way down here a little while ago, and that's already been cleaned up and such, so that's a nice one to put in there. And I think I have a sink, so it's not too bad. Oh, so exciting. I'm having a hard time keeping my composure. There is a distinct lack of doors in this place. And so I've brought a few, as you can see over here. One is a more outside-ish door, but at the very least we can use it to replace the one off the bathroom. Whoever had to open up this building, because the only reason we got it was because they didn't pay taxes for it anymore. And so it was just locked up, and so they had to beat the door in. But we can fix that. And I noticed right here, there's actually a square where a lock used to be. Looks like it's been patched up. So there's no reason to have the lock that high. What we should do is get a nice old-fashioned lock. And I bet there's, I don't know. It looks like they patched over but it's hard to tell. Put some putty over all that. But we can open that back up and put a nice one back in. It's just an odd spot. It's right at, chest, boob level, whatever. Also found that in the dumpster. Figured we could use it here. My neighbor, who also has a lot of extra building materials, gave me all this foam to help out. And so we're going to put this foam on the outside of this room, or the walls of this room. And so hopefully, just a single space heater will warm this room enough during winter so we can have a nice, at least one nice warm room. But you guys have already seen the attic. Let's go down to the basement. Which one amazing thing is that the basement doesn't really have any mold. And so that fills me with a lot of promise. It appears that the moisture issues and the rot is a more recent phenomenon with this particular house. So this is the stairwell into the basement. Let's see. Nope. Some nice room here. 1970s wiring, so that's okay. There's a little bit of mold here, which isn't so good, but the actual beams and such aren't bad. There's the power. This is the where the dead bodies are buried. This all need to be replaced. I mean, not the infrastructure. I'm talking about the boarding on the wall. What we can do is we can remove this because this is a poor attempt at insulation. I believe it might have. Oh yeah, it has loose fill newspapers back there. Might be some neat newspapers in there. And we can put that nice 2-inch R13 foam insulation in there. That'll help very much. But look at that. Even in the dead body room, the wood looks great. I would definitely use this wood, and the roofing, or sorry, the flooring looks great too. I wonder what those lines are from. They're obviously from whenever it was like pre-assembled. So those are very old lines and not like moisture damaged now. Oh yeah, so this is that extra building. They put in this beam. So it makes me think like, even if we have to demolish this, we can keep that, maybe move it in here, and have like a small little like machine shop, but use that for like a mobile crane, overhead crane. Yeah, they tried using doggy bag, like dog food bags for insulation. That's weird. I don't think I ever want to meet whoever lived here. They didn't seem like they had much ability to do much aside from nest in their own filth. You can see there's a crack running across there. And the entire wall is leaning in. Now, what on earth is that? Is it insects or yuck? Might just be water. I would not trust any electrical in this particular room. But yeah, so this is just a fake wall. And if we remove that, we could actually just drive a car in here. So that should be really nice. The chimney does worry me. There's cracks running all the way down on all 4 sides. And so I think it'd be a good idea to start at the top. Since this chimney does not go all the way to the top, which is not a very good design. Looks like they cut off the top and put one of the little like air vent things up. Oh, that does have a little mold on it. Very tiny bit. But I think it'd be a good idea to go from the top and slowly take apart the chimney. It does appear that the house actually leans on the chimney though. So it'd be a good idea to jack up the house. You know what? It actually looks like they've already jacked up the house a little bit. So we could just, make sure that those are good, and jack them up a little bit more. I don't know. But I do not want to start removing the chimney whenever the house is still leaning on it. Evidently the furnace still works, but I'm always leery of furnaces. Another beam. And I don't know what this room is. And I don't know if I want to know. Demons never perfect. Okay. Whatever. Edgy kids. What is that? Badger meter model, Orion Cellular. Oh, it's one of those digital water meters. Now look at that. That's actually pretty cool. So you don't need a guy to actually come to your house. You can just type it up on a computer. I'm all for that kind of stuff. Those will be fixed. Get new window panes. Rip out all of this boarding. Who knows what's living behind there? And it's not offering very good insulation at that. The roofing still looks good. The ceiling. A little bit of spots there. Nothing the little dehumidifier might be able to help. Or something that, well, whatever. You get what I mean. All right, so now it's time to go check out the upstairs to make sure you guys really know what we're dealing with. And, you know, this is actually a really nice house for... He only paid $2,300 for it, but then to actually close on it, he had to pay like $5,500, but still, $5,500 for a house like this is not bad at all. We should find him one of those vintage 1940s enameled sinks with a nice like drying area. That'd be really nice because the enamel goes a long way. Oh my God. That is not good. That is not good at all. You can hear it sizzling. That's a little better. I'll trust that one well enough. I'm not sure why only one's on, but whatever. Hey, look at that. Not bad. You know what? We should try this one too. Oh. That one works. And, hey, that one works too, so that's good. That'd be handy. All right, let's go up to the upstairs. Oh, I guess I got my light. What is wrong with my white balance? There we go. Nope. Now, why do they have a lock on Devin's room? Why would they want to lock him in there? That's, I'm not even going to ask. Oh, by the way, I noticed this second pane fell out in the snowstorm. And I guess we got enough snow that it actually landed on the snow really fine, and the snow melted away, so it was just laying on the ground 2 stories down. No bulb. But now this is the coolest room. I'm going to try to get this room for my little like gaming room, because I want to have a nice little retreat. We're going to have gaming. And the other one will be for a library. I really like the idea of just having a bunch of homes placed around the world. And so I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be in Taylor Springs anymore. I want to move 2 miles to Hillsborough for a week. I can do it. If I want to move to like California, Switzerland, whatever, it'd be amazing. Just have a bunch of little houses everywhere, or at least like rooms that I could stay in. I mean, it's kind of like the dream eventually. I'm running out of breath again. I always do that whenever, because I don't want to breathe. I don't want to have the breathing sounds. I'm not sure if it's water or what. Looks like it is water. But this is so cool. A second closet. Look at that. Parts of old doors. Those actually might be good to save and salvage those. Looks like it still is using knob and tube wiring, which I just hit my head on. Some old shorts. Yay. Oh, that knob and tube wiring has been cut, so that's good. That means that it most likely is not using knob and tube wiring. Oh. Yeah, look at that. That's the newer wiring. Okay, so that does make me happier. Yep. It's all cut. Okay. Well, that's better. It appears because that's the start of the hallway, it appears they removed all the plaster and put in some paneling. I'm not sure what to think about that. But oh well. Oh, and this actually is this the chimney? Oh! Is that the chimney? Well, that's actually good news. If that is the chimney, then that means that we don't actually have to remove much of the chimney at all. It might actually end at the first floor. It appears they've already removed it. That's actually really good news. That's a thing from a snack. Yeah, there needs to be a lot more insulation in here. Because wouldn't this be cool to have this as like a little server room hidden behind the closet in the gaming room? Oh, it'd be so amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god. And I can lock the prisoners in there. Oh. Someone had anger issues. Maybe that's why they had a lock on the door. And I want a lock on the door too. I don't even want to know what trash lived in this house. Well, obviously they let their kids draw on the wall and break holes in the wall, so they weren't the best tenants, whatever the term is. There's some cracks on the wall that should be paid attention to. It appears that almost none of the lights in the upstairs work. I would assume that the area back there is open still, which actually you might be able to see through there. Yeah, there's still an area back there, so this could be opened up with a little secret passage back there. That'd be really nice. What is up with this door? What is it with these people on doors? It's so weird. Did they bust it out? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. To finish off the video, we'll go up there and take a look with the ladder. Oh, I was going to turn on the light, but there is no light. I guess it'd be here. Now that tub might be steel. That can definitely stay. And that, if that's enameled steel, cast iron, then that will clean up really well. I might want to like replace all those fittings. And yeah, it's a very odd placement. Very odd placement indeed. The windows are all frosted up, but with paint. That's odd. It's very, very odd. In the next video, we will either put more plastic on the roof, which this plastic held the snow perfectly well, or we might cut the hole in the wall to do the inspection of that area. The Craftsman lock. Oh, I don't know if I'd trust with all that water in the roof. Oh my God. But I guess it's live anyway, so what you gonna do? And then in here, we have this. It appears that roofing isn't too bad. No, I don't think it's too bad. A lot of shit in there though. And these grates can be removed, and we can clean those up using an electrolysis or a sandblaster, and I bet those will look really nice. And all this wood trim, we can remove all the paint. So many possibilities. But I just imagine this being a library with shelves of books all the way around. But now, the last thing to explore is up there. Damn wasps. They're everywhere. But you guys wouldn't mind or wouldn't look down upon me if I were to take the chance to do the clickbait headline type thing, title of like mysterious wind hatch into the attic of an abandoned house or whatever it'd be like, mysterious opening. You know, little kids go for that kind of stuff, and they're like, "Oh, gotta click it." Like, oh man, because it's all about that clickbait. Otherwise, no one really looks. It's all about the clickbait. All right. I wasn't expecting this ladder to be so big. See anything good? Let me know. Lots of insulation. I don't think I can get up any higher, not with this ladder in the way, and I don't think I should try, unless I get stuck into an attic of a house that smells really bad. But at the very least, I know that I could easily break my way out through the rotted roof. Oh my God. What am I doing? is that? Oof. You know, there's a lot of room up there. There might be some good space I could use. Hide computers in the attic. That'd be kind of neat. And so that is the introduction to this house and all the state it's in. Ew. I do not like that at all. I can see why they went with plaster, because it's not springy. This wood siding is really thin. Oof. It just feels cheap. I might replace that with some wood planking, because, you know, I have so much, or plywood or something. But I think the house should have a bit of an Art Deco flair up at the top. And I already have a wallpaper in mind for this area. And some nice sconce lights to make sure, like 2 here, and 2 up there, and 2 more. So 6 lights reflecting onto an all-white ceiling. So it's a very ambient color. Very ambient, calm lighting. But yeah, that's the introduction to this building. And I'm running out of breath. You know, I was thinking I was probably gonna sit down, but I don't know if I want to sit down in this place until we give it a good scrubbing, because makes you wonder, like, what does an abandoned $2,300 house come with? You know, like, what's the, like, malaria and yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this simple little video, and thank you very much for watching. See ya.